Something strange is happening in Detroit. The Lions may have a 5-3 record, but behind those numbers, there's tension, friction between coaches, missed opportunities, and a star player hinting that something is wrong. It's the kind of week that makes fans suspicious and wonder what's really going on inside that locker room. Because if you think everything is calm in Detroit right now, think again. Let's start with the first big news that's got fans talking. So here is the deal. Things are getting a little weird inside the Detroit Lions locker room. After that frustrating loss to the Vikings, it's not just the fans asking questions, it's the coaches too, and apparently not all of them are seeing eye to eye. Head coach Dan Campbell keeps hammering the same point week after week: communication. That's been his word since week 1, and he's not letting it go. According to him, the Lions keep tripping over the same problem: players not being on the same page at the worst possible moments. After the Packers loss, miscommunication. After the Chiefs game, more miscommunication. And after Sunday's defeat against the Vikings, you guessed it, communication again. Campbell basically said, "We didn't handle it well, we're better than that." But here's where it gets interesting. The offensive coordinator, John Morton, doesn't exactly agree. When he spoke to reporters, he didn't sound too worried about the team's ability to talk to each other. "I think our communication's been really good since Green Bay," he said. "It's not that, it's just a few guys getting beat. We've got young players still learning, though honestly they shouldn't be. We're halfway through the season. So, which one is it? Are the Lions suffering from poor communication or just sloppy execution? Depends who you ask. Campbell's clearly seeing breakdowns in how plays are being read and adjusted on the field. Morton thinks it's individual mistakes, not system issues. Maybe they're both right, or maybe it's two sides of the same problem. You can see it on the tape. Jared Goff's been throwing some off-target passes. Receivers have been running routes that don't line up, and the offensive line, man, they're letting pressure through that looks totally avoidable. It's like everyone's hearing a different version of the same song. Kelvin Shepard, the linebackers coach, even hinted at it too. He said the problem isn't effort, it's consistency, and he's not wrong. This team looks great for stretches. Then suddenly, boom, one drive later, they're falling apart because someone missed a signal or hesitated a second too long. The good news, these aren't fatal issues. Campbell's right, it's fixable. Morton's right, it's not a total meltdown. But when your head coach and offensive coordinator can't even agree on what's wrong, it definitely raises eyebrows. It's like arguing over whether the engine or the gas is the problem when the car S already sputtering. The Lions don't look broken, but they do look disconnected. And unless they start hearing the same message, this communication thing might end up being the storyline that defines their season. And if that tension wasn't enough, the front office might be just made things worse. Because the Lions passed on a trade that could come back to haunt them big time. You know what hurts more than a loss? Regret. And that might be exactly what coming for the Detroit Lions after they stayed quiet at the trade deadline. Because there was one move, one obvious move, that could have changed everything, bringing back veteran guard Kevin Zeitler. Now, before you roll your eyes, hear me out. The Lions' offensive line has been a big part of their identity. Smash mouth football, ground and pound, protect Jared Goff, open holes for Jahmyr Gibbs. But lately, that bulldozer reputation has started to fade. And the worst part? The cracks were there for everyone to see before the deadline even passed. Zeitler's over in Tennessee right now, doing his thing, being one of the few consistent bright spots for the Titans. The guy's been solid for years. Smart, durable, reliable. The kind of veteran presence that glues a line together. And let's be real, the Lions could have used exactly that. Fansided's Chris Landers even called it out, saying it made zero sense not to go after him. This offense is built on the run game, he said. But right now, they just don't have the horses to give Gibbs the space he needs. He's right. Against the Vikings, Gibbs ran for just 25 yards on 9 attempts. That's not a fluke. That's a warning sign. GM Brad Holmes is known for being patient, not panicky, and usually that's a good thing, but sometimes patience can look a lot like passivity. This time it feels like the Lions bet on next man up instead of taking a guaranteed upgrade. Sure, they've got depth pieces like Tristan Colin and Coyote Owosika waiting for their shot. They even added rookie Jack Conley to the practice squad, but none of those names scream instant fix. Zeitler would have been that steady veteran hand who helps keep the pocket clean when chaos hits. And here's the kicker. The next few weeks don't get any easier. The Lions face defenses like the Commanders, Eagles, and Packers. Teams that live off pressure, that test your O-line every snap. If those matchups go south and Goff starts getting hit again, you can bet the "why didn't we trade for Zeitler" noise is going to get real loud, real fast. The front office chose to trust their backups. Now it's on those guys to prove everyone wrong. But if the offense keeps stalling out and Gibbs keeps running into brick walls, fans are going to look back at that quiet trade deadline and say, yeah, that's the one that got away. And just when you thought the drama stopped there, boom, Amon-Ra St. Brown grabbed the mic and dropped a truth bomb that turned up the heat on offensive coordinator John Morton. You know things are getting serious when your star wide receiver starts calling out the offense publicly, and that's exactly what Amon-Ra St. Brown just did. The Lions might be sitting at 5-3, but behind that solid record, frustration's starting to bubble up. And now, St. Brown just put a big spotlight right on offensive coordinator John Morton. Talking to 97.1 The Ticket, St. Brown didn't hold back. "For us as an offense, the word that sticks out to me is flow," he said. "I feel like we haven't been in a flow all year. There's been a few games, Bears, Ravens, but overall, it's just been missing." Boom, that's a statement. And honestly, he's not wrong. The Lions offense has had moments where they look unstoppable. Creative play calling, sharp execution, rhythm, tempo, but then, out of nowhere, it all disappears. Drives stall, routes clash, and third downs turn into nightmares. For a team that's supposed to be one of the NFC's top dogs, that inconsistency is killing them. Morton A.S. been under pressure since the moment he replaced Ben Johnson, and let ES be real, those are massive shoes to fill. The guy inherited a loaded offense, but hasn't quite figured out how to make it sing the same way. Fans are noticing, analysts are noticing, and now the players are starting to speak up. Dan Campbell has had to defend Morton more than once. He's been asked why veteran David Montgomery only got 4 carries in a key game, or why rookie Jahmyr Gibbs is getting thrown into tough pass protection spots. And don't even start on Jameson Williams. The dude's speed is a weapon, but he's barely being used. St. Brown's comments hit different because he's respected. He's not some rookie venting. He's the heartbeat of that offense. So when he says the team's missing rhythm, people listen. And suddenly, Morton's seat feels a whole lot hotter. At the end of the day, this offense doesn't lack talent. It lacks timing, trust, and maybe a bit of confidence. The Lions have the tools to dominate, but until they find that flow St. Brown's talking about, they'll keep spinning their wheels. And if that doesn't change soon, this season could go from promising to painful real quick. Man, the Lions better figure this out fast. You've got coaches arguing, trades missed, and your best receiver calling out the offense. That's a recipe for chaos. But what do you think, Lions fans? Can this team still get it together? Hit subscribe and let's talk about it.